Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cuda Education. So, today I want to just go through our first um, attempt at getting things started in Apple Metal. So, if you are new to the channel and this is maybe one of your first videos, you have come at a good time because we are starting a fresh project in Apple Metal and we are building up to the modern renderer application that is very advanced and fancy, and it's freely available by Apple. You could just Google Apple Metal sample code and search for modern renderer application, and you will see it. I've also discussed it in a previous video associated with this series. So I have, it's called the Clean Slate series, and I have a numbering system. So just go to the very first video in the Clean Slate series and you will have an understanding of how all of this how all of this works. So yeah, this is our very first we created a brand new project in Xcode, and now we're just going through you know making changes towards that final application, that final advanced application. But we got to start small, okay? All right, so step one, clear screen. What changed and why? We touched three files: the app delegate and the main.m were left untouched. We're just gonna do it one file at a time, one day at a time. We're not trying to make each video too involved, okay? So view controller.h, the interface. So when we run this application, basically we get a window. We get a window with a blank navy blue background, okay? And this is actually Apple Metal running. So you could actually, actually run the application, and that's what we get. So we're just gonna look at what was changed in the view controller. So we have our clean renderer application, and we have all of these files, and we are in the view controller header file, the h file, .h file, okay? So this is where we are right now. Yeah. So pretty much what happens now is that we have these three imports. So this was the original file, as you could see here: import coco.h, interface view controller, ns view controller. But then we changed it to basically what you see here, right? And we're just going to go through these particular steps and give you guys time to really digest what's going on. So the first thing is, what changed? Two new imports: metal.h, metal/metal.h gives us the Metal API. So Metal device, Metal command queue, etc. Metal.h gives us MTK view, Apple's convenience view that manages a Metal drawable surface and a render loop for us. So let's just dissect this for a second. So Metal.h gives us the Metal API. So basically, the Metal API is Apple's computer graphics API for the entire Apple ecosystem. So Mac OS, Vision OS, iOS, tvOS, you name it, okay? So we need to get that Metal API, and that's what this Metal.h import is, right? This file right here, Metal.h import. All right, and then it gives us not only the Metal device. So the Metal device is basically what GPU is gonna be interfacing with Metal to produce the things that we render on screen. So that's a Metal MTL device, okay? We also have the MTL command queue, and the command queue is it's basically a lineup of tasks that we're going to submit to the GPU. So we're submitting stuff to the GPU, and we want to see if we have our task lineup for the GPU, and the GPU is going to process these things either one by one or in parallel or something of that nature. But we're not going to get too involved in that. But it's just a series of tasks that we're commanding the GPU to process, right? So we have so that's the Metal that's the Metal.h file. Metalkit.h file, which is this guy right here, gives us the MTK view, Apple's convenience view that manages a metal drawable surface and a render loop for us. Don't want to get too involved in this one either. We will get more, a better understanding of what this MTK view is. But for our purposes now, we just want to know that basically it produces a window that that we can draw stuff on, and we could run a render loop to like change stuff that's drawn on the screen. So this is our MTK view, and we basically have a navy blue background as the as what we rendered, and this is the drawable surface here. Okay, so not too bad. And then now we get down to the MTK view delegate, this guy right here, MTK view delegate. This protocol has two required methods that MTK view calls on us. Draw in MTK view, called every frame, typically 60 frames per second, and MTK view drawable size will change, called when the window resizes. By adopting this protocol, our view controller becomes the render loop driver. For our intents and purposes today in 2026, let us just say that this MTK view delegate it basically it refreshes the frame. So you gamers out there, you guys get all miserable and antsy when the frames drop below 60 frames per second. I believe the eye really is at 30 frames per second, but 60 is like the paradigm now. You guys want silky smooth movement and all that stuff in your games. So we have 60 frames per second for how fast we refresh this window. And then we also have the ability to resize the window. So of course you guys could resize the window, you could minimize it. You could put the window to the left side of the screen, put the window to the right side of the screen, make it be a horizontal window where it's just down at the bottom here, all of that good stuff. So that is what this MTK view delegate, is all about. It is trying to basically control the window, the surface, the drawable, whatever. And again, we will get into this stuff as we develop our application and then we dive into other files and stuff. Anyway, guys, this concludes our lesson for today. Wasn't too long, right? So tomorrow or the next video, we will dive into step 2 and continue on our path of understanding Apple Metal. But this isn't too bad. At this point, you guys should have understand the Clean Slate project and what we're doing. All right, you understand what I'm trying to do. You understand. You've seen the application that is that we're trying to reach, right? You've seen the application, the final application. It's like a beautiful scene with a cafe and all that stuff. Very nice scene. And you have also I've walked you through starting a fresh Xcode project on your Mac OS machine, right? So it's a fresh Xcode project, starting it up, setting it up the way how I set it up so that we're all on the same page. And then now we are here in the view controller.h file, and we are starting to make modifications to that fresh project. Just as a reminder, this assumes that you have Apple Metal 4, okay? And in order for you to run Apple Metal 4, your Mac OS machine has to be on an M series chip. So the M chips, the Apple M chips, right? It can only run on those chips. And it can't run on an Apple Intel system or anything. It has to be the M series chip. As far as the Metal 4 part, because there's Apple Metal and then Apple Metal 4, I believe Apple Metal 4 can run on all of the M series chips. I am currently running an M4 chip. I don't know what the situation is with with the other chips. I believe it's all the M chips, M series chips, regardless of whether you have M1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You'll be able to run it. But that's what this machine is on, and we're able to run this stuff and get it going. The reason I emphasize Metal 4 is because I'm in the modern renderer application, which is it's kind of like the cutting edge application in the Apple Metal sample code library. So it's sort of taking advantage of all the features that are available to the latest Apple Metal API, which is Apple Metal 4. Okay. So there you have it, guys. This is Cuda Education. You guys know what to do. Support the channel, all that good stuff. Tell your friends. Get your friends to get all your Mac friends to start working on this stuff. We're trying to make some real progress before the end of the year. We might pause for a while, but we never stop. We just keep going. And I think this is a great approach for you guys to learn computer graphics and also learn Apple hardware, and also prepare yourself for the AI tsunami. Because remember, it's all on the Apple GPU that the AI is running on. So you need to be able to know how to interface with the GPU. Obviously, I'm not teaching AI here, but it is using the same hardware. So you will be more than familiar with how to manipulate the Apple GPU hardware for whatever purposes that might be useful in the future, whether it's computer graphics or not. Thank you guys for watching. This is Cuda Education. Have a great day.